Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the GGDA February 9th meeting. This is where we get to show off the contestants for the Best in Georgia competition. Yay, big round of applause. Very sorry we're not all together to be applauding, but very glad to have everybody here and ready to go. The Best in Georgia competition has been going on for a number of years. It's a great way to prepare new teams to actually launch their games successfully. The winning teams get $1,000 in services, including legal services to help them form their team, to register their IP, marketing assistance, business consultations, and more. So, this year we have 4 great teams from Gwinnett, from Kennesaw State University, from SCAD Atlanta, and from SCAD Savannah. And we're going to be seeing at least 3 of those games tonight within our stream. And if you are a GGDA member, you can be in chat to go ahead and join us and talk about the games, ask questions, and see if we can help. And I'm seeing, indeed, we do have Kennesaw in the voice channel, so it's looking good, getting a good turnout of folks here. So, before we start, we'll always have our announcements. You're looking right now at our blog post about this event itself, but we want to make sure that everybody's had a chance to see the high-res video on mental health that went up yesterday. Consider this an excellent service by High-Res, one of the members of GGA, and it's GGA members within the company who put up this video. If you're not already following the High-Res YouTube channel, you should. Great stuff. And it's a valuable commentary on mental health. We also have coming up soon Skill Shots Invitation Atlanta Fortnite competition. Win a few $100, play Fortnite, have a lot of fun. I believe you're still eligible to register for this. Go to iatl.gg to register for the Atlanta Community Open. Skill Shots have been putting on some great events. I think all of you will enjoy this one. Always a lot of fun. And yes, I am also looking forward to having more opportunities to play Smite, Paladins, Killing Floor, and so forth for fun and profit. Other events coming up include our friends over at the Indie Game Business Group, who are having a number of sessions coming up for our indie devs. One of their very popular tools is a meet to match, where you can meet publishers. You have a chance to pre-register for meetings with a variety of publishers. And I think you'll always find this a valuable experience. You can get a discount as a GGDA member. The information is up on our Facebook, and you can reach out to me directly for that discount. In addition, they're going to have a number of seminars and the like with leaders in the indie game community, talking about areas from launch to user interface and more. So check it out in our most recent newsletter. Check it out in our Facebook group. And I think you will enjoy this opportunity. Our next meeting will be March 9th, and we will be naming the winners of the Best in Georgia competition that night. We've been talking to Samsung and others about also having a session on mobile game development and monetization. But for me, the highlight will be to check out the winners of the Best in Georgia competition. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the first team. So if the SCAD Atlanta team wants to go start sharing the root out game, that would be great. I think we're all going to enjoy this. They're going to walk us through it. They're going to tell us about the game. Feel free to ask questions on Twitch, in YouTube, or via Discord, and we'll be monitoring those and passing them on. So with no further ado, we have Root Out. Take it away. It looks good on OBS, it looks good in Discord, and it'll look, yeah, there it goes. Now it's looking good on YouTube as well. Yay, delay.
But yeah, so right now we're gonna run around and try and hide these.
I just boosted the audio,
items.
so you should be able to hear it better.
Yeah, I'm a little bit partial because I'm also doing the audio work. Okay. Right, so right now we're just going around hiding it. I will pick a bad spot. Oh. So basically the game works, you start in the lobby, you join in, and you gotta hide your object. You can't see objects when you hide them, but then the game, once everyone's hidden an object, then we will go to the next phase. Hello, Michael.
Has everybody hidden their object?
Yes.
Don't tell me your first bug of the night already. So the game definitely has some bugs, but generally we've been able to get past this phase. But I guess we could just do a quick restart of the lobby. But,
yeah, mine just like randomly crashed on me. Hate to
oh,
say.
that makes sense. Okay, well I'm gonna Alt F4 out of this, and we're going to start again.
Yes.
Server's up.
Project, no fears about there being bugs.
There is plenty. We definitely have our work cut out of us for the next month, but I think we have a pretty solid plan.
Yes.
We're waiting on everybody to connect. The server is up, so feel free to just toss that IP in real quick like.
First question from Ben Berg. This is multiplayer? Holy cow.
Absolutely, but as you can see, it doesn't handle well when people leave whenever the game is in the midst, and in fact, he crashed, so that still does count as him leaving, but the server was not able to compensate that, so we were in purgatory, basically, waiting for him to place his object, which he never would. What? Looks like we're starting again.
Alright, yeah. Right back in it.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Right. I got a better prop this time. So because we've, played this amongst ourselves so much, we sort of have scoped out some of the better hiding spots for this map. I think we're planning to get more variation with the map as we continue development. All right. Just trying to find the perfect spot.
Timer, as you can probably tell, also doesn't work. It means nothing as of now. But here we go. Everybody's off looking for the prop that they were assigned. So basically, at the end of the hiding phase, it gives you a random person's prop to find. So if I look at the bottom, it says I'm looking for Tone's prop, and Crazy Side is looking for my prop.
Alright, I'm looking for Pinky's prop.
Oh, would you look at that? Found in 29 seconds, plus 77 score.
I'm finding every prop except for the one I'm looking for. Oh, sorry.
Daniel Fellian says, kind of getting Bug Fable vibes. Dean Boyd says, can you give the pitch again? This is hide and seek.
Oh, so we're hiding the props and seeking the props, not for each other. Yes.
Yes. So you have to place a prop, and somebody else has to find your prop, and the server will randomly decide whose prop you have to find.
And seeking.
Nope. I'm on the mic.
So let us know a little about the tools you used for this.
So we use the Unity engine. I don't think we have too many extra packages that come in. We're using the HDRP, I know, but ultimately, not too many outside packages. I like to write stuff myself, so the networking system is custom made.
Nice. What's the score?
Oh
Yep.
no! I got last.
I win again, just as always.
You gain points by both finding the prop you're looking for very quickly and having the prop that you place that somebody's looking for have it take a really long time. So, as we can see, the Ton is in the lead.
Yeah. One thing. There you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Daniel, Bug Fable actually was one of the games that we were looking at for inspiration when it came to the art style. So definitely a good catch there.
We actually had a teammate very nicely set a presentation up for us, which had stuff like Bug Fable. I know Paper Mario.
Yeah.
There's another one, the Pixel one.
2D plus 3D idea.
I don't know what the Pixel one was.
We really tried to play to our strengths when doing the art direction.
It was Bug Fables, Paper Mario, House.
Right. Yeah. So for the actual process of the game jam itself, that exactly playing to our strengths was sort of the idea. We had artists that could pump out 2D assets, some artists that could pump out 3D assets. So we just tried to get everyone doing the right thing, and we ended up with a lot of stuff.
What are the odds? Another bottle cap. We have like a set of like 30 props, I want to say, but I've gotten 2 different bottle cap variants.
I've got them.
One thing that was.
James Warlord
Nice
says
try.
that actually reminds me a lot of the art in Okami. We're going to have a couple more minutes. If you have questions in chat, please ask them. For the team, very quickly, what did you find as your biggest obstacle to getting this done for the jam?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Well, we can answer that both with a programming answer and a art answer.
I think I got this one. So this year it was very difficult. Not difficult, but challenging this year because we created. This is probably the largest team I've personally worked on. I've never worked on a team of 9 members, so that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of things to learn from there. We had to again play to people's strengths, so we also had to like divvy up work where the 2D artists are great at what they do. Let them do what they do. Programmers are good at what they do, and trying to like take our inspiration from everything we're trying to make. Especially had a lot of first years actually. I think our team had 5 first timers. It was a huge it's always fun to be your first game jam, but especially one like this to be honored to win best at Scat Atlanta. So a lot of fun.
Excellent. What are your next steps for the game?
Bug fixing. We have a couple features we want to implement, and we'd love to potentially get to public servers, but that is going to be a lot of work. So I'm going to have to see the viability of pulling that off. But the more accessible with public servers, the better, because right now people have to port forward to play, which could be problematic because there's a kind of a little learning curve there and learning how to port forward, and some people just can't do it with like their setup, especially if they're on like a university connection or something. But we want to make it so anybody can play.
Yeah. Another goal would also try to be getting into a Mac build. That'd be great.
Oh yeah.
See that.
We don't have Mac support at the moment, but that is something we're definitely working towards. We're going to have to do a lot of changes. There's the input system doesn't work on Mac, and neither does the networking system. So both of those are to be determined, but I'm going to do everything I can in this next month.
Lots of polish that needs to go in.
And I would be interested just to anyone who is watching. One of our big goals also is to increase sort of player social or just player to player in-game interaction. So if you have any ideas, things you think would be fun, we're definitely all ears in hearing that sort of feedback.
Yep.
Right.
And we plan on implementing a hot and cold system because, as you can see, I'm having trouble finding my bottle cap right now.
Who hit the gem?
Michael, it's at the pot house.
At the what
It's
house?
right next the big pot. It's right next to the guava in this little bush. Here, look.
Oh my! I passed right by it.
The gem is so hidden.
It's not. It's the bottle cap.
Got it.
So last question, and if anyone else in chat has questions, fire them out now. What do you think your biggest needs are for your team?
Probably level design right now. I think we have some grandiose ideas for potentially refining this map, adding more, but as of right now, there's a little bit of a hole in our team without a level designer, so we're going to try to work towards that.
So you're hoping to find a level designer with strong Unity skills.
Yep. Before we cut off the stream, guys, does everyone want to come over here and get a shot with everybody in camera?
That'd be great.
I'm down for that.
I can see everybody. Actually, I'm not even sure how many people we have in game. I feel like we're missing one.
Yeah, it's me. I fell through the map.
You fell through the map? No!
Never
Yeah.
to return.
Every game developer.
Well,
You're not a game developer if you haven't fallen through the world in your own game at least once.
yep, that's something else we are going to fix.
Yeah.
We did 3 play testing too. I can't win.
All right, well, thank you for letting us present our game. That's how it is right now. This is the state of the game.
And chat is definitely insisting that Pot House is the best house. I have no idea why, but that's what they're saying. So thank you all, Team SCAD Atlanta. Go ahead and go back to the general chat. If you are listening and you are a member of our Discord and you have Unity skills and want to do level design, go ahead and jump on into our Discord chat and talk to the team. If you have questions, you're allowed in our Discord chat to go ahead and talk to the team. They're in our general voice chat. So jump on over there and talk to them now. All right, next up, we're going to move to SCAD Savannah. So if somebody on the SCAD Savannah team wants to start sharing the stream for everybody, that would be wonderful.
Will do.
Hey everyone! So we're from SCAD Savannah, and we can all introduce ourselves pretty quickly when Ryan's getting our stream up. Ryan, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
The stream should be up. I got the game ready to go.
You're fast.
I had it ready.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, Ryan.
So my name is Ryan Herrera. I'm the programming lead and technical artist on the Soccer Around the Clock team. Does everyone introduce themselves first?
I'm Bryn. I did a lot of the art assets and I did the main character.
Hi, I'm Zach. I did the UI, I did some of the assets, and I did the base audio that's in here.
And I'm Cindy, and I did some of the assets, and I did a lot of the set dressing for this area. So take it away, Ryan.
So welcome to Soccer Around the Clock. This is our little game intro screen, and once we get started, you can see that you're playing as a little sock gremlin character, and the goal of the game is to take items from this disgusting frat party and bring them all back to your little hut where you've got a sort of sock gremlin cult worshipping stolen items and doing creepy things. Some of the main game mechanics that we've got going on in here is basic platforming and trying to grab different items and bring them back. As you can kind of see what's happening here, there's little mucky spots throughout the environment that are these sort of hazards that will slow you down over time. And the way you avoid that is by swapping your sock with other socks around your environment. I'm actually about to die here in a second, but I'm just gonna restart to show you. So another element of the game is that you have a time limit to go find your items. You have 60 seconds to go find the item up in the top right corner, and each time you bring it back, the timer resets and you try to see how many items you can get in one run. So going back to the sock mechanics, basically there's procedurally generated socks that will be randomized every time for every character. And I think we wanted to move on to some of the iteration, maybe?
Yeah, so the theme, like everyone else said, was Lost and Found for this game jam. And we started out by just spitballing ideas. Literally, we have like an 18-page document of like all of the things that we came up with. But eventually we asked the question, hey, what if we just play as like a left sock? As a joke, obviously. But then we were like, what if we play as the left sock? And then this kind of sprung into ideation. We also played around with, at first, just being the sock lost, trying to get back to your owner. But then we decided that was a little too cliche, so we decided to become the problem. So become, why objects get lost. And then we also had, I think one of the diversifiers was procedural generation. right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But it was RNG. There we go. But that's where we got like the procedurally generated socks from, where we just decided, oh, let's just have a whole bunch of different socks all the time, and it was great.
Right, and to piggyback off of that, there's like, I want to say like 10 to 13 different patterns of socks with every color being randomly generated. So you'll get a random generated pattern with a random generated color, so you'll have thousands and thousands of combinations that you probably never get twice.
That's a big selling point of our game. Just socks everywhere.
And to go forward with like plans we want to do for the future is one of the big things is we love about this game is it's fun and silly and chaotic. We want to add more chaos to that because that's what kind of makes it fun. And right now it's a scavenger hunt, but having things such as, you know, people might wake up and people might discover you as the sock running around and have like a heart attack trying to figure out what's going on. And so you have to like discover a way to like hide from them or like escape that problem, or possibly like weather effects happening. Like maybe there's rain and you get soggy and you have to discover like what to do with that. We have lots of ideas for those type of events to like really spice up the gameplay we have here, along with maybe a ragdoll effect that we're working on. That if so you do get caught, what if you just go limp, and then all of a sudden no one knows who you are because you're just a sock on the ground. But we want to make those things really fun for the game and just continue to clarify the UI and the design and the story that goes behind this. And we have lots of plans for the cult pile and what that might look like in the future.
So the frat boys are your enemies. What are you, some kind of art school students? All right, we've got a number of
I'd love to say they're your enemies. They're more like your livestock.
Don't say it like that.
Oh my god.
Rachel Langley says, I love how floppy he is. Daniel Halligan asks, was this also made in Unity?
No,
this was made in Unreal.
Oh, that's right.
So we go more proficient in, and so that's the direction we wanted to take, was Unreal.
James Warlord says, we got well beaten by these guys. Amazing game. Dean Borg wants to know,
Thank you.
How would you expand this? 12-hour sock gremlin campaign?
We actually do have some like long-term plans in case we do want to continue developing it past this month. Like one of the goals that we really want to do is having a multiplayer mode with like different game modes. We've already brainstormed a few, like one where it's like a sock zombie mode where you're a dirty sock trying to dirty up other socks and convert them. A team-based competitive scavenger hunt. Just lots of different ways you can do it. We also want to like add in even more levels with like diverse hazards and like character customization for the sock gremlin too. So like you could put a little hat on it and switch out the legs and tail and such.
Right. Well, you've got some more questions popping up. Ryan Klein says, +1 to Bean Borg. How about a sock narrative? And, it's important because Monique Williams says, I want more lore from that rat cult.
We definitely have more. We're planning on maybe. Yeah, we're planning on potentially maybe the horde is a sock dragon's horde, and you have to appease the sock dragon.
And so maybe we're thinking this first level is the initiation into summoning the sock dragon, and from that point on, you'll be carrying out his duties.
So basically, like every frat house. Okay.
Yeah,
exactly.
Puzzles by Joe says, coincidentally, the original idea for Clutter was matching 2 socks lying on the back of the sofa. True story. Joe, were they as dirty as these socks get? Let him take some damage. I love the how you do your damage indicators. The sock gets dirty and your screen gets dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan, kill our son. Kill him. Do it.
Those game mechanics.
So he's getting real upset. He's not happy about it. So we have him. You start moving a little bit slower, and you get a lot like heavier and saggier as you get on, and it really incentivizes you, especially with the time limit, to swap a dirty sock onto the frat boy's foot instead and freshen up.
I've never seen anyone take a clean sock from a frat boy. So, Pride, in keeping with the dirtiness theme, asks, what is your favorite bug?
The favorite bug I'd say is we tried playing with collision when you're holding the objects, and I unfortunately can't show that right now, but he does like a whole spaz job when he's colliding with the object because it's trying to stay in his mouth and starts twisting and I think the best visual example of that actually you can kind of see in these guys in here, which for some reason this started happening as of late. I think it was more of a biological evolution of the time.
Oh yeah, they started trembling. Oh my god.
It was a very
It's a feature.
It's a feature, yeah.
But it certainly adds to the creepiness of our little sock hole. I'm all shake and channel the divine.
Right. I'm amazed no one in the chat has asked for them to be wearing masks and keeping social distance. But,
we're in Fox. It's basically a mask.
All right, we've got time for a couple more questions. You've talked about some of your plans for expanding it. What do you think your biggest challenge was during the jam?
Oh, I got this one. We don't have like an actual programmer. Like Ryan knows a lot about blueprinting in Unreal, but there's only so far you can go. Like we were thinking of trying to tackle multiplayer, but like with our current skill set, that's just not possible because none of us are, programmers. We're all just artists that know a little bit of programming, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And another big thing is we wanted to get the flop of him properly done. Like we wanted him to have the best physics possible. And that took like a whole night of us going back and forth, like, is this bone the right bone for the rig? Is this one the right one? And it took a long time, but thank God we got it, because I think it really makes the game.
Yeah, there are some really interesting results from messing around there with the physics. But we got it in the end.
Yeah, physics is always a chaotic experience to deal with.
All right, sorry, Neve says, you go, guys. Keith Trosak Studios says they are wearing masks. The sock is a mask. Crazy Side says they tremble in fear. So, your question leads into my last one for you, which is, what are your needs? Obviously, programmer, but what are you looking for in a programmer who would work with your team?
I think a programmer who has experience. Ideally, we would love to implement multiplayer, though I'm not sure if that's a realistic goal for the end of this competition. Aside from that, one experienced in blueprints in Unreal, able to untangle the mess of spaghetti code that I've woven, the tapestry.
It's beautiful. It's glorious. Masterpiece, Picasso.
Yeah. Anyone who knows a thing or two about how Unreal physics work is also welcome.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you also got a heart from Twitch, from the oscillating tortoise in Twitch. So,
Great name.
looks good. Any last words before we have you into Discord? And anybody out there who watches and is part of our Discord channel, you can jump in there and talk to them further. Any last words?
Awesome. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome too.
Excellent. Great having you here. All right. Next up, we are going to have Holloway Joe, which was the KSU winner. All right, all you SCAD Savannah folks, go ahead and move into the general Discord voice. And Alex, when you are ready, let's haul away Joe.
Hello. Hi. Yeah, let me see if I can get this stream up. I'm gonna share this.
All right.
Let's see if this works.
Looking good. Here is Holloway Joe. Take it away. Haul it away, Alex.
Holloway, yep, Holloway Alex. Hi. So, yep, I made this. So yeah, I'm the only person that's on my team. So I'm the only person that did this. I did all the programming, the artwork, all of the music that I made. So yeah, This is Holloway Joe. It's sort of like a 3D exploration game. So this is you. This is the main character. Let's see if I turn it down. But yeah. As far as like gameplay goes, it's most exploring around these little islands that are nearby. You can move the camera around. It has like a completely third-person camera. You can zoom in, zoom out, and there's these skeleton guys over here, and they're blocking the treasure. So if I walk towards, they're gonna start try to attack me. So I'm gonna be like, "Arr, arr!" I'm gonna attack them back, and then let's knock them down. I can go around them and get the treasure that's over here. And the treasure's open. And once I get the treasure, I can go to my boat over here. My fantastic, beautiful boat, which I can hop in and drive around in a bit. So yep, I can go to different islands. I didn't really have a lot of time to make different islands. There's only like 3 of them over here, but got these guys over here. That's a good one. Yeah. Sometimes when you attack you can open up chests from all the way over here. Yeah. Yeah. So this was made in Game Maker Studio, and if you're not familiar with Game Maker Studio, that's a primarily 2D engine. So normally you don't have games like this that are 3D. So I saw some assets on, I guess, itch.io recently that was published by someone that I follow, and they recently were like, "Hey, check out this cool thing! You can make 3D games in Game Maker." I was like, "Ooh, cool!" So during the jam, I decided, "Hey, why not try that new thing there?" So I decided to play around with this, and yeah, this is ended up by doing. The things that are 3D, like these palm trees and the pirate ship, these are made using a technique called sprite stacking. So they're not like an actual like 3D object. They're basically a bunch of 2D layered sprites that are on top of each other. So like in the game files, it just shows like each pixel like layer on top of each other, and you just like stack on top of each other like that. So. And for these guys are just kind of billboarded.
All right, we're getting a number of questions in chat for you. Daniel Billigan says, when it comes to making 2D pixel sprites, which software did you use?
2D for dang it aside. Yeah, I use for pixel art I use Sprite, which is probably the best pixel art software to use. For art style for this, I normally do a lot of like heavy outlines, but because it's 3D, heavy outlines don't really work that well, so I kind of just didn't do that. But yeah, I use Sprite, and I also used Voxel 3D. No, Magica 3D. Magica Voxel, so it's called. I use that to make like the 3D stuff, which is super handy.
Excellent, excellent. Crazy Side says this is amazing for a one-person team. Beanborg also says this looks really cool. Pride says amazing work. How'd you do this in 2 days? You took 3, didn't you?
Well, no, I did do this in 2 days. I actually really didn't have a lot of time to work on this because I also had work to do. But there's not really that much like content. Like this is literally just it. I guess I kind of just like speed ran a lot of the assets. Thing.
Cameron Dale says, love the feel of the game, art, and environmental sound / music. So what inspired you on this one? And you have to come in with some ideas. Is this something you're already planning on? And you incorporate the theme, or is this all new?
As far as like inspiration, there was another game that I saw. Well, I saw recently that also has this kind of like 3D exploration style, and I was kind of just felt like I kind of wanted to try to recreate that, just to have a just to try something new, you know. Because I normally don't make 3D games. I mostly do like 2D stuff. But I kind of just wanted to just, you know, have a 3D exploration game.
I think everyone's going to say it reminds them of early Monkey Island, even though that was much more 2D. So what were your biggest challenges at the jam? Was it trying to do this as a one-person team, or?
The biggest problem I think I encountered was trying to get the 3D stuff working. I guess like I don't know if you can notice, but when you look at the water here, you notice how there's like 2 different layers of water that's going back and forth.
Yep.
A lot of the issues that I encountered were a lot of like with like the depth layering. Like when I first tried to do this, like it just looked really weird. And I think also one thing that I did is that instead of like when you attack, it shoots like a little projectile. And when I first did an iteration of combat, I just had to click on the skeletons. And because of that, I think with the way that thing's set up, it was possible that you could like attack a skeleton from all the way up here. And so like I guess the kind of ranges were off. So I think a lot of the problems that I encountered were trying to basically make a 3D game in a 2D engine. A lot of like and there's also like small things like that which is just kind of funky, but
yeah, you clearly took advantage of a lot of the strengths of Game Maker for this, but you did push it a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. It is normally when you do 3D games, it like kind of just like destroys your computer. It's like yeah, it just doesn't work. But with the way that things are kind of set up, it uses like some new stuff that I've never heard of before, like vertices and stuff like that. And I didn't even know was in the documentation. I was like, oh, this is neat. I'm gonna play with this.
So you took the sound and true advice of going to the game jam and do things you've never done before.
Yeah,
not usually the recipe for success. So well done.
Yeah, I usually whenever I do game jams, I try to do something that I've never done before. And I with this jam, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna try to make a 3D game with this. So.
Arcane Arena on Twitch asks, are you controlling the world camera, or does it adjust to the character as you go?
So right now I'm controlling it. When you right click, see how the cursor turns into like an anchor that lets you can go left and right and go up and down, and you can scroll in and out. That's how you control the camera. I think it's possible that I could have certain things set up where it like automatically rotates to like certain angles. So like if I were to walk into this area right here, I could have it set up so that it'll like focus on the boss as you walk in, so you don't have to like manually adjust the camera.
Daniel Falcon on YouTube asks, would a high-performance PC be required to both run and design a game of this style?
Not really. I mean, if I can run it fine, it should be fine. I don't really have like a super beefy computer, so it should be good.
So what are your upcoming plans for this game?
My upcoming plans, if I decide to continue working on this, I think basically just trying to think of just more stuff to add, because right now there's not a lot to do. Like this is a really small like area, so I think like adding just like more levels, more like engaging just things to do. Like there's this guy right here. This is Joe. This is Mr. Holloway Joe you have to rescue, and after you defeat him, you have to. I'm gonna try to defeat the boss real quick. But after you beat him, he sort of follows you around, and he kind of like becomes part of your party. And so I think what I could do is that I could have just like party members just kind of follow you around, and they all have their own unique skills. So this is Joe. He's gonna follow me, and you go to the pirate ship here. It says, "Yay, Joe rescued." And just like some dialogue at the very beginning, at the bottom. But one thing with Joe is that normally when you walk around, like if I were to go into this island without Joe, this wouldn't appear here. But now that Joe's here, I can go to this treasure chest, so Joe can like dig them up, so you can get all the treasures that are nearby. So I think like just having some more, I guess, unique gameplay instead of just walking around.
So since you have a Joe in this game, I'll ask a question on behalf of Puzzles by Joe that he hasn't asked yet. Sid Meier's used to talk about how in doing his classic game Pirates, the initial edition, he always felt he was doing multiple different games. You had the exploration game, you had the ship-to-ship combat game, you had the ground exploration, you had the dueling combat, and it worked, but he was always afraid it wouldn't. Is this something you would do here as well? You would add different elements to it, or would you try and keep it this one cohesive interface?
I think because at its base it's relatively simple, I think I could add more stuff as long as it doesn't like get out of scope. I think things like pirate ship combat would be good, or just some different stuff, but I think just you can do a lot with just a regular like a puzzle exploration game.
Some other comments. Beanboard in YouTube says "Yar."
Yar.
And Monique Williams says "Noise." Are you looking for any help progressing with this game, or you didn't sound even sure you wanted to keep going with it?
I think I'm not entirely sure if I would like to. I think realistically, if I wanted to, I could get some help, like maybe like 1 or 2 people, possibly with like, I like doing art assets, but I think just trying to like, I guess maybe level design or possibly programming. It kind of sucks doing it all by myself, but yeah. But I think it's yeah.
All right.
I think just having more people would help the things go by along faster. Yeah.
I mean, you clearly have fun doing your own sound effects. Putting in sound effects in your music, combat system, etc. Your own art. So. All right. Bean George says, "I like the island shaped like a question mark."
Oh, this one, yeah. I don't know if that was intentional, but yeah, I kind of just wanted to have like a cove here, and after I did that, I was like, oh, that kind of looks like a question mark. Ooh, what's there? So yeah.
Whereas most of our games just come with an asterisk. Okay.
Yeah.
Pride asks, "Are you working on something else big?"
I have a couple other projects that I'm working on. The main one that I'm working on is sort of like a strategy/action RPG called Roseblight. I've been working on that for like a year or so now. I also have a couple other just small projects that I do every now and then, like this. And sometimes I go back to old jam projects and update it to add like more levels and stuff like that.
The Oscillating Tortoise in Twitch says, "Alex, this is awesome and great job."
Thank you.
Daniel Falligan asks, "How did you make your chiptune music?"
So for chiptunes, I use a program called FamiTracker. I normally just do chiptune music because I kind of feel like it works well with like the pixelated art style that I go with, and I've used FL Studio before, and it kind of was a little complicated for me, so I kind of just like to keep it a little simple.
Excellent. Great stuff. All right. Go ahead and jump into chat if people have questions, or maybe they want to try and talk you into keeping on with Holloway Joe.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Great stuff. And next up, we will have the Gwinnett Team. So, Gwinnett Team, if you want to go ahead and start sharing. And once you start sharing, go ahead and introduce yourself and talk about the game.
All right, so should be going live right now. Not sure if y'all can see that.
Yeah, I've got yours. Let's wait till you got the game going.
Yeah, so should be pulling up now. Y'all able to see that?
There you go. All right, looking good. Take it away.
All right. So there's a little intro right there. Basically, you're Junko. You've been tasked by your boss, finding the tools that have been lost in the warehouse. Collect the tools and return them to the chest in time. Fairly simple mechanics. A group that I started with. I've had a little bit of experience with game dev. I've never actually had a completed project. And as you can see while I'm playing, it's you pick up those items, and then as you do, it'll light those icons up, and then you go to the chest, and you can go on to the next level. But to get back to the team a little bit, I took a class in college like 5 or 6 years ago now, and kind of enjoyed that. Off and on, I've kind of browsed through Reddit posts about game development, and decided I wanted to do my second game jam, and with the goal of getting other people interested in it. And so I'm a programmer by trade. So I got a couple other buddies from work. There wasn't even really necessarily a goal of finishing the game, but that was the idea. There's no set time limit for a group of okay, you need to work on it this much or this much. We had one person that did about 2 hours. We had another probably around 8 hours. I worked a good bit over the weekend on it, and then we actually picked up a guy that I hadn't met before with Gwinnett, the Gwinnett local site. He needed a team, so he jumped in with us. And so we do not have any artists on our team. This is purely free assets. We found this, one of the Oreo, which is the guy that we picked up from the local site. He found this character, and it's the name Junko Chan. So he's like, yeah, let's use that. It came with these kind of like weapons already with it, and so we wanted to kind of incorporate stuff like that. So as you can see, you can we have the nail gun to where you can shoot things. Of course, that would be a bug where sometimes the collisions aren't affected. And we'll get there eventually. Oh, it looks like time might actually run out on this one. But yeah, so we kind of had this character, and we wanted to include some of these things. So over time we added a little bit more. We started off. You'll see the kind of the second item here on the next level, if I'm able to complete this one. Sometimes it goes through and they all get destroyed on the first hit. Sometimes it takes a while. Alright. So yeah, again, it's pretty simple mechanics. We added kind of the nail gun there. You're about to see this chainsaw, which allows us to destroy these boxes. So for this demo, we really just kind of like showcased some of the things that we could do. I know like one of the first things that we're going to start working on is kind of like our level design and our the way this character moves around. To be a little slow and clunky. There's also you get the buggy on some objects. And so those are the primary focuses. I'll get to some of the other ideas we have in a little while, but
talk a little bit more about your team, your members, and what you're looking for.
So yeah, I mentioned that I'm a programmer by trade. Actually turns out the guy that joined with us, has had mostly experience with programming and game jams. So one thing we do not have is art at all, and so that would be beautiful if we could get someone that can do some of the 3D art, maybe a little bit of like character rigging, stuff like that. But one of the things I know that we wanted to include is like enemies and stuff like that over time. And so, the enemies, we haven't quite fleshed out the design for that. But the idea would be you kind of have an option to kill them or to move by them, to potentially save time. And so one of the things about that is we couldn't find any other good assets online for, these enemies. And so, we might end up having to make them. We don't have much experience in it. Of course, we'll do it if we can't find any, but that'd be really cool to find. Some of the other guys, they do want to continue working with, with the game, and kind of going on it the same way. I did most of the programming, non-character controller programming and stuff like that for the game. Oreo ended up doing like a lot of the character controller, and he did sound and stuff like that. So the other guys, they were pretty much working on the levels and level design, and so we do have a lot of ideas for the way to flesh out this level system over time, and so we'd be able to utilize them a little bit more in the future.
All right. Well, Ryan Klein says this game gives me the spooky vibe. How about a Halloween release?
Halloween release. I'm not sure if we'll actually, get to the release phase. But we do definitely want to keep on working on it, and that is obviously the end goal. So I guess we'll see how it's coming along. If we end up getting there right around that time of year, then I'll have to remember that.
Excellent. So I like that you felt like you had a mix of puzzles and combat in it. Getting on the ball to roll around seemed pretty cool. Is that the intention?
Yeah. So initially, no one on our team's really made any type of I guess complete game, for lack of better. You have the functionality that you'd actually progress through levels and do the goal that you're setting out to do. So we wanted to go out with something simple, and then like I said, we got this asset, and we wanted to kind of take it, work with that a little bit. So we do really like the kind of half action, half puzzle aspect of it. You didn't really get to see too many of the obstacles that we have in this, or that were set up to be used in this. So over time we'll get to showcase some of those. I know. Well, one of the things that we're wanting to work on with level design is making it more progressive. So, you start off a couple levels where you learning about the, different platforming aspects and going through kind of puzzles. And then after a couple levels, you would get the chainsaw, and then you'd slowly introduce some of the, mechanics for that. And then after a few levels, you'd get the nail gun. And as you go through these, you're adding, all of those together. And, we definitely want to have a big Godzilla boss at the end too. That's mandatory.
Every game needs Godzilla. Storm Tushek says, I like the nail mini game. I like the nail gun mini game. Very fun.
And yeah, so one of the things we're wanting to work on with the nail gun is basically, you could have targets that would trigger a door opening, or of course the enemies we talked about, shooting the enemies. There's a lot of cool things we could end up doing with that. One of the other, I guess, kind of attachable items that we're thinking about was a jetpack, which would be awesome. So things down the road that could end up working well.
Yeah, with the ball that you got to roll on, the idea of a jetpack, it seems like a multi-level game seems in order, able to deal with heights. Now, you always have fun when you put flying into a game to keep the characters bounded anyway, so things don't go crazy.
Yeah.
But that sounds pretty cool, and always fun to implement. Now, I'm sorry, you're in Unity, right?
Yes, this is completely Unity. If I know if we weren't able to find any other artists or anything like that, I know me and Oreo would be delving kind of deep into Blender and stuff like that. So other than that, just straight Unity.
There is a lot in the asset store, but I always like people making their own assets. Had you said you'd all never actually completed a game before, but you had worked in Unity before? This is clearly not your first effort in Unity.
So the class that I took back in college, me and another guy that are on the team, both took the class, and then probably over the years probably put in like I don't know 20, 30 hours in Unity. Outside of that, and I think I did one other game jam back in the day. So
not bad for that level of experience. All right, a few more comments from YouTube. A lot of various weapons is always a plus. That is from Daniel Filligan, and Pride says so many possibilities.
Yeah, I think some of the other things we were looking at was kind of like completionist system of there's coins that you can spend time gathering and stuff like that, or little spray spots, and then like harm mechanics from enemy NPCs or death pits and stuff like that, where you respawn pretty close, stuff like that. And so I know for us having a month and not necessarily requiring a whole bunch of dedication from all the team, we're going to prune down these a little bit for this month. But yeah, we're definitely excited about the possibilities, and I guess we definitely weren't expecting to get the best at the local site, so that was a surprise for us. I know several of us still wanted to work on it, but we probably would have taken about a month off and then got back to it. So starting back a little bit earlier than we planned, but definitely excited.
Yeah, never take that month off. You never get back to it. That's why I push people to keep going right now while the enthusiasm is high. All right, great demo. Go ahead and go into the General Voice channel, see if folks are there to talk to you about the game, and maybe recruit an artist.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having been here. All right, everybody, that concludes our stream. Beanberg is going to go ahead and run gaming in the GGDA Discord. If you're a member, get on in there. That has been a blast the last few times we've done it. I'm glad to see it continuing. Glad to see all those friendships continuing to form with it. And thanks to all of you for having watched, both on YouTube and on Twitch. And we look forward to seeing you on March 9th to announce the winners. Come back, bring friends, and we'll see you then.